You're listening to My Top 8, a relationship podcast about friendship. I'm your host, Maggie Mae Fish. Remember, the show does not condone ranking your friends in a list of 8 people. And now, let's talk friendship.
Oh, some friends go and some friends less. Some come talk on your podcast. If they make you laugh and they treat you great, then you put them on your top 8.
Hello, Cody!
I didn't know if I was supposed to start speaking when you were speaking. I was really nervous.
Oh, no, don't be nervous. You can speak, you can talk over me.
Oh,
you can
great.
tell me to shut up.
That won't be too much different from most how interactions in Hollywood are.
Yeah, great.
Between men and women, right?
Yeah, exactly. Please tell me to shut up.
First of all, I want to say thank you for having me because, one, as I was saying before we started rolling, my air conditioning died last night. And, feels so good in your house right now.
You're welcome. You know what? I could also blow across the table if you needed a little extra.
Oh, my God. It's so cool. That's so nice.
Yeah, we pump it pretty hard in here.
I'm a big fan. Like I've been having this thought process lately is that like I just want to be comfortable when I'm in my house.
Yes.
And I had like it's got to be a flashback to like 15 years in the future when I'm like a version of my dad.
Yeah.
I was like in my apartment, the air conditioning was off, it was all hot, and I just woke up at like 1 a.m. I was like, why am I uncomfortable in my own house?
Yeah.
And then I got up and like just turned the AC on and went right back to sleep.
Take charge of my life.
I was like, I don't work a job to be miserable in my own home.
That's beautiful self-care.
That's what it was.
Is.
Like I felt the air conditioning was on for maybe like 30 seconds before I passed out, so it had no effect in the room. But like I felt so pleased with myself as I felt that first gust and just like closed my eyes, went back to sleep.
You know what? I do that sometimes. We've been cooking a lot lately, but I've been getting the like, I don't want to say shitty chicken, but the shitty chicken.
Yeah.
And lately I've been like, you know what? No, I deserve the good chicken. That doesn't taste like I'm biting into like just grains and like fat.
Yeah, it's like when you buy like the really crappy bacon and then you buy the good bacon, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend the extra $1 because why not?
Right. I'm worth it.
Yeah.
We're worth it.
We're both worth it.
You're worth it.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of, I forgot to give you an introduction, but
okay.
You are a fantastic director.
Oh my God, thank you.
And producer.
Oh my God, thank you.
So thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I have so much fun doing podcasts now when I'm not on the other side of it.
That was actually the other reason I wanted to ask you, because I was like, I bet Cody would have some fun, just, you know.
It is great because like there are moments when I'll be in like the studios at Earwolf and like they're talking about something, I'm like, let me give no, right.
I have to go back and edit it out. All your
me constantly trying to jump into the mic to give my take on something.
Yeah. Well, this is your opportunity to just.
Oh, I'm so happy to do it. How many episodes have you been doing?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Around the 4.
Oh, hell yeah.
Third or fourth? Third? Yeah.
Early adopter.
You'll be third. So
hell yeah.
Get excited.
I am so excited.
Okay, so great. Just to get the ball rolling.
Catch me up, yes.
I'm just gonna throw it to you. So pretend we're back on MySpace.
Okay.
Who would you put?
People can't see, but I'm literally closing my eyes right now.
Yeah, I can see you getting real zen on this.
Yeah. Right.
Who would you put in your top 8, buddy?
Top 8, I think. Right now, in my current state, it would be. I'm just gonna fire off names right now. Wes Martinez. Rob Gentili.
Oh, I love Rob so much.
He is my boy. He's been holding me down since I moved out here in LA. My friend Sarah Brown, and my friend Julia, and my 2 old school friends from film school that I kind of moved out here with, named Tristan and Kyle. I think I have one more, right?
Yeah.
My mom. I got to put my mom on there.
Oh, I love it. Man, I put my brother on my top 8.
Yeah.
You
got to. You got to have family on there.
You gotta. Although if they're terrible, I understand cutting out your family.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that is also okay.
Don't feel tied down to be in a toxic relationship with your family. Cut them out. But my mom's the best. So
That's adorable.
I had so much. I thought that I was not going to be able to hit all 8. And then I flew through them.
I don't think we've had a guest yet that has actually gotten through all their top 8.
Hell yeah.
So you are the first.
I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to hold the record.
So who of all of these friends, who have you been friends the longest with?
Not counting like my mom. It's probably my friends Tristan Hill and Kyle Drew. They're friends that I met like at this point, maybe 6 years ago at film school.
Wow.
Savannah College of Art and Design. We went there for grad school for film. And like Tristan was actually the first person I talked to. Like he sent me a message on like Facebook, be like, "Hey,
I love it.
I see that we're going to be in like I saw your name on like the orientation sheet. We should be roommates." And then when we became roommates like the next quarter. We've been
Oh my
roommates since
God.
then. Yeah.
That's adorable.
Like after he graduated first, so like me and Kyle and another friend helped him move out here to LA.
Yeah.
He was like he's the first person that like I flew on a plane for the first time because of him because I had to fly back from LA.
Oh.
And then like he got me my first job out here in LA.
Oh my gosh.
And then I got Kyle his first job when he moved out here to LA. It's
Yeah.
like they've definitely been like the rock. And this has been the year. I mean Dwayne Johnson. They're all like Dwayne Johnson. This has been like the year, like this is like year 3 for me. It'll be year 3 for me.
Yeah.
So year 4 for Tristan. So like we're all sort of finally starting to hit our strides and like things are starting to happen. Like he had like a pretty successful short that he did this year that has gotten him some pretty cool opportunities and meetings with people that, you know, 4 years ago in film school we'd been like, that's insane that you're getting a meeting with like this particular company. And like same thing for Kyle. Like he's at the point now where like he gets so many pitch meetings that like they don't go anywhere, but he's like, I got this thing at Netflix and it's not gonna go out. And like if you would have told that us 3 years ago that you'd be bored about having a pitch meeting,
blown their mind.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, wake up, dude.
Wake up. But now he's at the point where he's like, I got this thing at like you know, at A24 and it's not gonna go well. Like no one's buying anything. So we're all at that point in our stages in our like our journey and career. So it's like it's nice all catching that sort of blow up at the same time.
That's one, I think it's exciting to see like your friends like succeeding at the thing that you've seen them work hard at for so long. Yeah. In a way it's like rewarding and encouraging for yourself too, because it's like
it's definitely
right.
all seems possible. Like we all got dinner like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because Tristan had been working at BuzzFeed for like the past 3 years and he just got a new job as like a creative director for this company. And like we were all having dinner and he was like, man, it's just crazy thinking like he's getting all like teary-eyed. It's crazy just thinking about like where we're at right now and like who we're talking to and like who our circle of friends are and all that stuff and like where we're going to be in like 3 or 4 years. And we're all like, yeah, this is great. Like we're finally making it, you know?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I just burped a Sprite directly into the microphone.
You know what? This is between friends. Really, this podcast is.
Can you actually
all about
go
that.
in and edit this and make it louder?
Yeah, I would like to go back and make my. You're at home here.
Yeah,
you're at home here. I do want to ask though. So, I want to know what specifically do you think makes them good friends for you, and what do you think makes you a good friend for these buds that you've had for 6 years? What makes you click?
I'd say that we all came into a pretty new situation, which was like moving from our respective homes to like Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
We're also all black, so we all had sort of like that same like sort of
Shared
background, like not a
experience.
monolith because we're all different, but like we were definitely cast into like an art school, which is like a pretty not only like white institution, but like wealthy institution where you have people that are like their families.
I went to
like I summer and like they were like season places. Like, oh, I'm gonna go summer in New York, or like there's this guy that we found out. His there's like a large Chinese student body population, like Hong Kong, mainland China, and Taiwan.
Yeah.
And there's this guy we found out. He had like a super expensive final film, it was like 6 digits. And we found out that his parents were like. It was wild. Like he rented out like a military fort. It was crazy.
What?
We found out that his family was like the Chinese equivalent of like the Hershey family, like the family that invented Hershey. So he was like a billionaire. And yeah, it was wild. It was just had unfathomable amounts of money. Like I remember there was this dude. His name was like Yang, but he went by Luke. And so one of our classes for like our final thesis, we had to like basically go over like boring production stuff. Like here's the budget, here's the blah blah blah. So like doing like a boring. This is so inside baseball, but like doing like your movie magic schedule breakdown and all that stuff. What he did was he just went to the professor and he pulled up his bank statement. And he showed it to him, and the professor was like, "Luke, I don't understand this. This is just like your banking account." He's like, "This is budget." And he's like, okay, just walk back down. And like still to this moment, like me and my friends are like, that is the ballest way to be like, I got money to make this thing. It's just show your bank account to someone.
Listen, I don't need to break it down.
Yeah, you see these digits?
These are
6 digits. I got 6 more waiting to pop. but
my
like
God.
we all sort of bonded through that, and like
Yeah.
I think it's just being supportive friends in general. Like they're all three very supportive guys, and even
it sounds like no ego because
no real ego. Like we've all been super close, and we're all supportive in our own different ways. Like there are definitely been like 3 or 4 months where we don't get to hang out because we're busy, but like we have a text thread that's been going since we both moved out here.
That just I'm smiling so much right now.
It's
love it.
like now that I'm thinking about it, like it definitely is a very rare gift to have like those close friends that you're still close with and still actively like supporting each other when we can.
Like actively in each other's lives.
Yeah.
I have 2 best friends from high school that I feel like I sometimes am the worst at staying in touch.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like sometimes I'm afraid that like if I start talking, it's just not gonna like feel the same all of a sudden.
I think it definitely helps that we're in the same industry. So there are moments when I go home and I feel like I'm not bragging, but like I'm just talking about what I'm doing, and like you just by happenstance happen to be working with like sort of pseudo famous people,
right?
Like in your circle. And out here it's like, oh yeah, like my buddy Tristan just finished a Kickstarter or a Seed and Spark for this web series he's doing. And like Lena Waithe funded one, it like gave it like
I have tweeted about her 3 times on Twitter, and every single time she has liked it and responded. She's
so cool,
amazing.
I've only tweeted at her once and she liked it. It was about like Dear White People, but she funded like she gave like $500. So just by giving that amount of money, she became like an associate producer just as a thing. And being like, oh yeah, that's clout that you have now. Like not only did she give you money, but she also gave you that clout. Yeah, and like that's a conversation that I couldn't necessarily have with like my cousin back home.
Right.
Because one, he wouldn't know what a associate producer does. Yeah. But also, he would be like, oh, you think you're Hollywood because you know this famous person, whatever?
No. Yeah, no.
No. Like, we're all struggling in our own ways.
Yeah. I'm like in a lot of commercials right now. Yeah. So, but it's just like, it's just commercials.
Yeah.
And, anyone out here is like, oh, great. You
paid your rent for
right, exactly. Great. You got to pay your rent. But at home, it's like, oh my God. Like, can we talk to you still?
Yeah, you're so famous.
Please still talk to me because in a month, no one will cast me in their commercials and then I will need rent money.
Yeah, it's funny. I had something similar happen a couple of weeks ago. I did this web series with a friend and like, like you just go through your Rolodex and ask people to like do it for me. Yeah. So I was like, hey, Matt Walsh, like we're friends as you can be out here.
Right.
So, hey, would you just do me a solid and tweet this thing out? And he did it. And like he's like, hey, my good friend blank Cody, whatever, and like my other friend did this thing. And like all my friends back home, like, oh my God, that's so cool. It's like, no, you understand, like this is me just tweeting him, like this is me just texting him and like him reminding his assistant to do this. Like, this doesn't mean that like I've made it now. Right. And I'm still pretty broke at the moment.
Still pretty. Yeah. Let's be clear. I'm still just very.
I still
broke.
need gigs, so please come my way.
Yeah. But that's great. Yeah. Them being in the same industry, I think it's like like a comforting
they're definitely like a support system because like we're all like writer directors, so it's one of those things where like, hey, I made this thing, can I just get your take on it, or can I get your critiques? And like that's another thing. It's just like it's a simple support system to get like different thoughts on the things that we've been making,
right?
Because there's nothing, the same thing, you create stuff, so it's nothing's worse than getting bad opinions from people that you don't trust.
Don't trust, and it's like that's not at all what is happening in this script. But
or they don't understand what the goal of the project is. Like, we made it in 4 hours. The goal isn't to like make the best thing. It's to get it put up on crack so I can get my 60,000 views and get a little bit of clout. That's my thing that I try to do with this. Whatever.
Yeah, my one of my childhood best friend, Molly, she is not at all in the industry, works in DC. You could totally pet the cat. We've got a cat visit. Yeah. This time it's Leo, not Ghost. Usually Ghost is the one who walks on the table.
Oh, nice.
But I will send her scripts, and she doesn't necessarily know how to read scripts. She's gotten better. But I do like her feedback because it's usually so left field. It'll be things that I did not at all consider because, she just works with women's rights in the Middle East. So just a completely different mindset.
I do this thing that I'll send my mom and dad, like, just random videos that I've done, and like with no context. I'm like, hey Dad, check out this video. Because he always has the best, like, he's like an older guy, so his responses are like a sentence with like exclamation points. So it'll be like, I did this video when I first moved out here with Rob, where we're like he's throwing up around different places in LA.
Oh, that's one of my favorite videos of all
Thank you.
time.
That's the video that's got me.
I love it.
That's got me the most amount of meetings for some particular weird reason.
Guys, if anyone's listening to this and just like, please go watch it. I love it.
Top 100 places to throw up in LA. It's the dumbest thing I ever made.
It's wonderful.
And it's getting me a lot of meetings for some weird reason. But I just sent that to my dad with like no context. But like, hey, I made this thing. And he sent it. He's like, you a damn fool. Like 4 exclamation points. That's all he said. So like I'll send him stuff like that just to be like, all right, this is what like the normal people are thinking of these days.
Yeah. That's why I love asking my dad what he thinks about popular films.
Yeah.
Because he loves film and he watches every like new film that comes out. Yeah. But just hearing his just like, just take on it is like, oh, that's what most people will probably think about this movie.
That
it's
too.
Very sweet.
Yeah. Especially like my dad's a big Star Wars. He's a big nerd dude.
Yeah.
But like whenever he sees Star Wars, like the new Avengers, he's like, man, Thanos is a bad dude. Like those are always his takeaways, It's like, like just distilling down to like, man, Thanos got them hands. And I was like, yep, that's right.
That's so funny. My dad is very similar, except he's like very sensitive. So he'll be like, I was so sad when Spider-Man died. He was like, that really affected me. Like,
speaking of that, like one of my buddies went to see it, and like we had like a clause where like no spoilers, just let me know if it's good or not.
Yeah.
And he just sat back. Children were crying, and that's all that he said.
Children were crying.
Yeah.
Whoa. So one of the things that I wanted to talk specifically to you about.
Oh, hit me.
Oh yeah, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you and I are both in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're
always taking meetings.
We're always taking meetings.
Summing with Ricardo Montalban.
Right.
I don't even know if he's still alive. I think he's probably dead.
Probably dead.
Yeah.
We're I always assume they're dead until someone tells me they're not. And it's like, okay, well that's great, not dead. But yeah, so there's like a weird Venn diagram of like friends, but then people you work with, but then people who work with who are your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for like a fun example, which I think is just strictly friend, is like our mutual friend Rob.
Yeah.
What a solid dude.
Yeah.
One of the best dudes around. And so fun to work with. So like he's a friend that I just want to work with all the time because he's so fun and positive.
Fun, incredibly talented,
incredibly talented.
Genuinely one of the funniest guys that I've ever met. And I've met like a lot of funny people out here, but like
his point of view is so specific and like he's cultivated somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's one of the few guys that like when I try to riff with him, I just can't hold because I always laugh at whatever he's doing. And like he's genuinely one of the funniest guys. And I hope that he has like the most successful career in comedy.
Me too. Yeah. But yeah, I would say like that's an example of like that's just a friend that I just like working with.
Yeah, he's definitely like a friend that fell into being like, oh, you're also an incredibly talented writer and editor. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But they're definitely know what you're saying. They're definitely like the Venn diagram at this point is almost like just a circle. It's almost like just a giant wormhole. Because there's like you meet people that are like your genuine friends.
Right.
But then most of the people that you're working with that you meet out here are like work friends that become friends. Like
because
they're like rec you for jobs or like you recommend them for jobs. And really it's like do you want to be in like a writer's room or like on set for 12 hours with a person that's not going to be a dickhead?
Right. So I do think that's a thing that I think most people maybe outside of LA don't really get. It's not, I mean, it is like who you know, but only in the sense that you want to just work with good people and you don't want to, be stuck in a writer's room with like shitty people or people who give bad notes or just like, you want
people that talk over each other or they're not like, but what if we like even just like the way that they phrase things? But what if we did this instead of like I like that? Let's try like just simple phrasing like that. Like the guy, there's always the dude that just got a 4-1 who knows he's crushing it. He is so funny, and he's got the best ideas and the best pitches. And you're like, no, you're trash. Like I don't want to work with you.
This is too annoying to be around you. I can't. Yeah.
And there's also this thing out here where, for the most part, in my experiences, I'm sure you have your own take on is that like. A lot of people enjoy uplifting people, especially when they're in positions of like power.
Yeah.
I've been super lucky in that I've worked with some pretty cool people out here, and like I can call them friends in that regard. Like Matt Walsh and Scott Armstrong are two super cool dudes that like I've worked with. Like everyone knows Matt, and like I'm sure most people that have watched any comedy movie and like the odds knows who Scott Armstrong is.
Yeah.
And they'll do things where like I was like sitting at my house one day on like a Friday, and Scott he he was a showrunner for like Dice on Showtime for like 2 seasons, and like he just sent me a random text one day. He's like, "Hey, want to come by like the production office and just meet everyone?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, why not?" Like,
I'm there already. Knock knock. Yeah,
I was like, I had one foot in the lift driving up to the valley, like, and he just like took me around and like introduced me to all the producers, like everyone from like the producers to like the PAs to like the editors, and like I just sat in and like shot the shit. He let me sit in with him as he like timed an episode, so like I got to see like the process of him being like,
so
you know what, the hi-hat's too high on this, let's bring it down a little bit. Like, just like seeing those things, and like even with Walsh, where he'd be like he'll recommend me for jobs, or like he'll like promo stuff if I need stuff. Like there's just like nice things like that where like these guys are in their 50s, they got families, like we're not gonna go out to like Davy Wayne's on a Friday and grab beers, but like they are friends, and like they do look out for me, and like I look out for them as much as I can. Like they don't need help from me to get jobs, but you know what I'm saying?
I feel like we're one of my, I would call her friend. Yeah, like one of my great friends out here. She's my boss, and she like, you know, got me working at like DreamWorks, but we were friends first, and I just came out here. She went to the same alma mater as me, so we like got lunch, but from that I just started like dog sitting, and then we just started hanging out, and she's, you know, like in her 40s. She like doesn't need to you know like go out. She just like got engaged, and they just bought a house, so they're just in a very like fun part in their life where they can just like, you know, be nice to us youngins.
Yeah, it's weird how it like starts like that too. How it's like one of my, I would say, good friends now, this lady named Haley Mancini, who I met her because when I was producing at UCB, we wanted people come in and do like impressions, and she does great impressions, and like she, through that, I was like, "Hey, come on and can you just do this character for a show that I do?" And then she just hit me up randomly one day, being like, "Hey, I wrote this script. Do you want to direct this thing? I heard you said that you're a director." And then we did it, and then she knew people at Cracked, so like it got branded on Cracked, so it became like a real video that I directed, and like she somehow knows Josh Whedon, so like Josh Whedon watched it and like tweeted out, and so this crazy things. But I bring that up because through that interaction, we ended up becoming friends, and like we're writing stuff together now. But like she brought me to this party like a couple of months ago, which was like my first like LA party. That's like, oh, that's like a famous person. Like walk into like a nicest house. I'm like, oh, what does this guy do? It's like, oh, he's like a writer. He created like this like sort of successful Comedy Central show, and like I'm there 5 minutes, and like what's her name? Olivia Wilde walks in with like Jason Sudeikis. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Where am I? Am I dreaming? Slap me, please. Slap, slap.
Like she's making like she's like, oh, hello, Olivia. It's like, oh, of course. I know who you are.
Olivia,
you need to introduce yourself to me. But just thinking like, oh, we're here. I'm here right now because I asked her to do a dumb voice.
Right.
We just made a friendship that way. Is like, I think it's a perfect example of that Venn diagram where like we hang out, like we do bits back and forth, but we also do businessy things together too. Yeah, it's very weird where that overlaps.
Yeah, why wouldn't you with someone who is cool and like you've worked with before, and it's like, oh, I can trust this person. They're not crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's very strange. I don't know, because you're in this world more than I have been, as far as like you're working at Cracked, so like you're running through like just tons of people coming through that office. So like so I know you made like tons of connections, or like we're friends, but we're also like business people first in a weird way. Yeah,
there's Soren I would put in like that kind of category because we worked pretty closely, at least towards the end, because we were in a show together every week, so that was like really fun. But it's like he has a family, so we don't like hang out. Like he has a son that, you know, and a wife, so it's not like we're gonna go get beers. But you know, we like keep in touch and like, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, she's like an adult friend that we like do bits back and forth, and it's like I don't know.
That's the thing that is also strange is like I produce a bunch of shows, a bunch of podcasts, and like I'm friendly with the host, but like I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna text a funny gift to like Jonathan Van Ness. Right. Like, hey, I got this great shit post. You want to like it? What do you think? You know, it's just very strange, like the being like trying to like tear off like where the friendship is, and where it's like we're like friendly coworkers. We're not like gonna do bits together. You know.
Yeah, but I think, you know, being just like I feel like we can all kind of just feel it out for ourselves.
Yeah. A lot of it is. I think the most important part when you're in those positions is like feeling it out, being like, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, this is not. We're not.
This
there
is a business thing. Like
yeah.
we're not buddies like doing bits together.
Yeah.
We're coworkers.
Yeah, that's actually. I didn't mean to bring this up, but I will. One of my. I'm going to call her an online friend because I don't know her in person and I want to be more specific with my friends. I brought this up with Hannah Michaels, how like we all just say like friends and it's such like a broad...
Like a giant rainbow shoots out.
Right.
Yeah.
It could mean literally someone that I talked to 3 times in high school to like a close friend.
Yeah.
So Shannon Strucci, she does these fantastic like film analysis videos.
Yeah.
And she did one on parasocial relationships, which is
I like that title already.
Yeah, it's great. I do recommend it.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. She has 2 of them now, so they're great. And it just really made me think about like our like online friends versus like real life friends. And what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot why I brought this up. You said something that reminded it.
I don't know if this is in the same vein, but like I've been thinking about that a lot lately too. Is that like I've been getting a lot of followers and stuff on Twitter, and like I don't post anything great. It's a lot of dumb bits and shit, you know. But it's also people that like you also form relationship with these people where like you do. Like I've never met them, but like we have like a back and forth that we'll do, and like I'll just say colloquially that we're friends, but like I don't know if I like them or if they would like me, but like we just have like a rapport in that like they like something that I've made or they've seen some dumbass post that I made about eating
or they
ass.
like talking to you on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's very weird territory.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking like these relationships definitely wouldn't have existed 10 years ago.
Right. So what does that mean?
Yeah. Like what are they?
What are they?
Because like,
are they real? I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange because as someone like I'm sort of starting. I'm not there yet, but like I'd say for you, for example, someone who has like a very nice like online presence. So like part of it is like your job, but also like you're a very like personable person. So like you like meeting people.
Yeah.
Whereas like like all right, I'm gonna cultivate like a Twitter following because one. Like it boosts me because like if I
you're a
go
director.
out for a job
you are
like,
a director.
I'm a director.
You're a fantastic director.
Do you have thank you. Do you have? We're looking for people that have 5,000 to 10,000 followers on like social media. I'm like, oh god.
Oh my god.
Remember when you just made a fucking reel and that's how you got the gig?
I don't remember that because
it's so trash.
So long ago.
It's so trash, but like in a way, like they're helping like you by like following you, but then you're also like. I don't know. It's just this weird. I don't know how to describe this. Like this like performative thing that you're doing, where like you have to perform a bit to like get the things, but also I feel like you're having real interaction with the people too.
Yeah.
And like I don't know where the line is.
I have no idea where the line is. I usually try to be as least performative as possible, only because it's like I really don't want to misrepresent myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid if someone like thinks me of some way and then meets me and I'm different. And I also try not to think about it too much because it'll drive me crazy.
Yeah, I'm only thinking about it now because now we're on the topic of like friendship. I'm like, that is strange that that's how these things cultivate. And going back to the entertainment friendships, like the quote unquote it's so weird. Like they're friends and like we have bits and stuff, but I'm thinking specifically, I'm just thinking about like the friendship that I've been cultivating with like someone like John Gabers, for example, where like we've seen each other, we've always been super nice.
Right.
Like the first thing he said to me, like he did like a show that I did. He noticed that my phone case was Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim, and like we've been having these bits back and forth. But he was at the same festival that I was at this weekend called Outlands Outside.
Oh,
Lands.
I saw you post about it.
Yes,
you posted a very beautiful photo.
Yeah, it was hundreds of miles from the actual festival because I did not have time. But like we were both there this weekend, and I was thinking I almost like send him like a DM to him to be like, hey, let's grab a beer. We're both here. But then I was like, if we wanted to hang out, like we would have given each other's numbers. You know?
Man,
and I'm sure that if we met up, we would have been super cool. It would have
been fine. Yeah.
But I was thinking like, no, there's like if we wanted to have contact with one another at some point, I'm like, yo, man, here's my number. He would have given me his number, and we would have like formed that connection. It would have been like, let me go to your Twitter and slide to your DMs.
Right,
and, like,
let me slide in. See, see if you're there. Yeah. I really have no answers. I only bring it up because it's been on my brain. Something you said definitely made me think of it. Probably recommending people for jobs.
Yeah.
Because, I was going to say, that's been a slippery slope for me. Only because sometimes I will, at least, I would, like, mistake a parasocial relationship with, like, a real relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I know this person.
Yeah.
They're just, like, around. I think they'd be, I'm using air quotes here, and no one can see, but they'd be great for this job.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that they're not, and it's like, oh, that was my bad.
Yeah.
I did something wrong.
Or like when you sign up to do projects with people that you think you're friends with, and then like they do that first thing, you're like, oh, you're a mean person.
You're
bad.
You're bad.
Yeah, like you treat people like garbage.
Bad. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm here for 4 more days.
Yeah. No.
I've definitely had that happen, and afterwards I'm like, I need to vet people, or at least just talk to my other friends. But hey, what's the deal with this person? Like, are they good? Do they treat their ADs like trash, or what's I have to tell you after we stop recording. I'll tell you. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's this weird nebulous of, because we're all, we are online. We do have a social presence. We do have our online interactions, and we like want to think of those people as like, part of our circle, part of our life in a way. But then,
this is something that I've been thinking about lately. Is that I've only had it happen once since I moved down here. But like, you met someone like you were super cool with, and like came very close, and like they're there for you. Like if you call them at like 4:00, but I got you. And then one day you're like, oh, wait a minute. They're just a really good actor.
Oh, no.
And you're like, you start looking over your notes with the other friends. Like, hey, did you notice that this person
does this? Do they talk bad about everyone behind?
Yeah. Like, didn't they only hit you up when you have a project in the works? And then, like, you compare notes. You're like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
They're just literally a fantastic actor that can just and a 2-year relationship.
Yeah.
It's frightening. It's crazy. You'll be like, you'll notice things. You're like, oh, it's just like a personality quirk.
Yeah.
And then like it starts happening over and over again.
Wait a minute,
you're
that's
like,
not a personality quirk.
Like, oh wow, they were just lying. That's wild as hell.
Yeah, I feel I that has definitely happened to me.
Yeah.
I do think it's very rare, but when it happens, it has such a big impact.
Yeah.
Because it just rocks your world.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I should stop trusting people as much.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, wow, I got got for like a year and a half. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm so relating to everything that you're speaking about.
I have a question for you, like, so especially out here when it's such like an incestuous thing, like friendship and business, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you have trouble cutting people off? Or cutting people out of your life?
Absolutely did. Especially because I talked a little bit about this on the podcast before, but I came from a very, very small town.
Yeah, same.
There's like 30 kids in my graduation class. So I never ever cut. I just didn't. It was just not an option because we went to the same school every day until we died. Or graduated. So I didn't. And then in college, I luckily met like great friends like the second week, and we're still like best friends to this day. It's like me and a group of like 6 men, and we're all best friends. We love each other. But yeah, LA was the first time that I really had to be like, oh, not everyone has your best interests.
Yeah.
Which seems so like naive.
Yeah, it seems so like, it just seems like so obvious now.
Yeah, now it seems so just blatantly obvious, and I feel I look back on my, younger self.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, bless you.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. Like, I come from a small town, same thing, and like, I moved out here from film school.
Right.
And like, I guess maybe just because I got super lucky and I got into,
and you had your close friends who you've been friends with for 6 years, and that was not there was no friendship problem.
Nothing weird there. It's like I got into to like a UCB, which is like just a huge community, but it was weird because like a lot of people there, or maybe at any place that has like a prestige, but like they want to like fast track to getting inside. And since my job there was being inside, and be like, why the fuck do you guys want to be here? It's just like any other theater.
Well, guys, you can go anywhere. Yeah,
they're representation they're in the audience at any theater.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, this is not your only shot.
Yeah, this isn't your only shot.
I promise you.
Yeah, trust me. You don't have to do 5 shows a week at the clubhouse. It's gonna be okay. But there's a lot of, especially once I got like a gatekeeper-y type job as a producer, there's a lot of people that were just like, send me random Facebook requests and messages and stuff. And I'm like, I don't perform. Like, I don't know how you're finding me. It's like, I don't do enough
did you
podcasts.
Just like find my name somewhere?
Because like I started like advertising shows, like, hey, this week on this podcast we have blah 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 blah.
Your weekly I love your weekly updates. I like knowing what you're up to.
I try to keep it. There's another thing that I just fills me with such dread is that like going on Facebook and it just being a fucking echo chamber of like plugs and plugs and plugs and plugs and like, are you guys doing anything besides doing shows?
No.
So like, no. Like, well, I gotta pay bills. I gotta do shows. But I stole that. So Edgar, my buddy Edgar Mumplis here used to.
Oh, you just directed his
web series.
Right? Yes, his web series.
Produced it. He directed it.
Oh, right.
Well, he should have been on the top 8. He's top 9. Damn it, I feel bad, Edgar.
You know what? I'll have him on, and then he can put you on his top 8 to make up for it. So.
He started doing this thing where he's like, "Yo, I'm doing like 7 shows this week. Here's one post where I have everything in." And since I was at my height, I was doing like 6 podcasts. Like, I don't want this shit to get lost. Here's just one clean thing.
Yeah.
I'll put it out on Wednesday. You can see it if you want to see it. If you don't, that's cool too.
It's so funny. I don't think Edgar knows me very well, but I know him kind of pretty well because one of my dear friends had the biggest crush on him. So
that's so funny.
For just the longest time, she would just tell me like everything going on in like Edgar's life. So
I think I don't know why, but I find it so funny because I have a couple friends that have crushes on Edgar. Yeah. And I always find it so funny to be like, because Edgar he's just not very self-aware. So he's like, he doesn't understand that he's like a pretty fashionable, attractive young dude.
Right. I do not think he picks up on
He doesn't get like, he barely acknowledges that he has an incredibly talented, truly beautiful girlfriend.
Right.
And I was like, Edgar, there's like a lot of ladies that think you're attractive. Yeah. He's like, man, you're joking. It's like, no, dude. I'll take a poll right now.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's my funny Edgar story. Is that like he probably just like only knows my name, but like for at least for a month, I knew every show that he did.
I want to know this person's name because it's so funny.
I will also tell you afterwards. She's on my top 8. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, great.
Yeah, she's great. All right, so I'm gonna ask you just a quick few questions just to. I feel like people have been saying this is helpful, like, because everyone has different friendship needs. Some people need more friends. Some people need to cut out friends. So, I'm just going to throw some questions at you.
All right, hit me.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So when was a time that you were like a really solid friend? Like you
really solid friend?
You came through, you were someone's best friend.
Jeez. I have so many examples.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell you're flipping past them in your brain.
I think I forgot that this happened until my friend reminded me.
Oh,
but
that's actually probably one of the best stories.
Because I'm just such a nice guy.
You're such a nice guy. You do it all the time. It didn't.
I bring it up just because it's been a through line for this whole conversation. Is my buddy Tristan from SCAD.
Yeah,
he got kicked out of his apartment in the rain, and he was like, "Hey, I need somewhere to stay." I was like, "Sure." Like I had like this 1-bedroom apartment that was way too big. Like, had like my own bedroom, like a walk-in closet, a bathroom, like a big ass living room. But like, I was a bachelor, so like I just literally had a TV on the floor, an Xbox, my bed, and like a beanbag. I was like,
wonderful.
Sure, yeah, stay here as long as you want to, man, until we find you a place to live.
Aww.
And like, I remember I picked him up, and he stayed at my place. And he bounced back and forth between my buddy Andy's place and my spot for like 2-3 weeks. While he like found a new apartment.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a good example of when I've been like a solid friend.
Yeah. And also like, to you that probably wasn't like a big deal.
No, it seems so easy. It's like, hey, I'm in the rain. He's like, I don't care.
Absolutely.
Well, you get to sleep on a beanbag. That's the only downside.
Right.
But like, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the bar is set so low to be like a good friend.
It truly is.
Until you meet people that are shitty friends.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my God.
Oh, you're trash. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You work at nothing, and especially the relationships in your life.
Yeah, it's just been handed to you.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story.
Thank you. I try.
To counterbalance that, I'm also going to ask you, when was a time you were not so great friend?
There's been so many examples.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I can see them flipping through your brain.
I have actually one very prominent example.
Yeah.
I think it was in middle school, and like there's this dude I used to hang out with like all the time named Andrew, and he was like kind of a weird dude, but whatever. I was a weird dude too.
Yeah. I was friends with weird.
Yeah, like of course, like you're into anime and metal. Of course, you're gonna be a weird guy. But like, I started hanging out with this other group of friends in high school, and like we just like liked different stuff.
Yeah.
And like I started hanging out with him more and more, and then one time he sent me like a message over like AOL. He's like, "Hey man, why aren't we hanging out anymore?" I was like, like I got this new group of friends. They're more fun.
Yeah.
I like hanging out with them. I don't really smoke weed like that. Well, all this other stuff. Yeah. I was just basically broke up with him over AOL chat. Yeah. And like I'll still think about that every like 4 or 5 years. I'll be like, Cody. Oh, that was a bad thing. I could have handled that so much better than just being like, I'm not friends with you anymore. It's like that Office thing where Michael Scott's like, I declare bankruptcy.
Yeah. Well, that's one of my favorite jokes, maybe of all time.
I'm like, I'm not your friend anymore.
Declared. Yeah. You know what? We should do an episode on like how to like amicably.
I would love to know how to,
because I don't
know at this point. Like when I cut people out, I'm just like, hey, let's not hang out. But back then it was just like the like snarkiest, like shitty, like mean girls way to possibly doing it. Like, oh, they're cooler than you, they listen to the Damned, they're cool.
Man, why can't you be more like, if you were more like them, I would still be hanging out with you.
If you were just like them, we'd be better friends. But no, I'm sorry, I gotta go later, turd.
Later. That's really funny. My bad friend story was very recently.
Ooh, hit me.
My friend Hannah, who I just talked about, she told me to bring this up on my podcast. So
okay, perfect.
She was like, when you talk about being a bad friend, remember the time that you said you were going to get me weed and then you accidentally smoked all of it? And I was like, I won't bring that up.
Yeah.
But to defend myself, it was going to be like 2 weeks for her to come over here and pick up.
2 weeks? That's such a long time.
Listen, okay, 2 weeks is too long, and I did save the edibles for her to have.
That's fine.
So.
Also, that's a paycheck. That's like, come on.
Yeah, come on. But she did tell me to bring it up, and so this is my like, what do you call it? Airing it,
Also, that wasn't
my punishment.
Could have been so much worse. You could have done so many more worse things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're no longer friends, turd.
Yeah, later, nerd.
That's really. I feel like a lot of our, because Bailey as well. She was a very shitty friend in middle school. Middle school is a time where I think we all kind of
I was just thinking about this the other day. Is like I couldn't fathom having the hormones I had in middle school at age 30. Like, just thinking, being like, I remember just being like, sometimes you'd be like, it'd be the happiest day in the world. And then sometimes, like, your CD player would skip a song and, like, you'd be so filled with rage.
From
no reason.
Oh, it just blinds you.
Yeah, and, like, also, like, you're, like, growing. So, like, I mean, I've been pretty tall my whole life, but I went from, like, 5'8" when I was, like, a kid to, like, 6'4", and, like, over the course of like middle school into high school, and be like, I'm a giant now, filled with hormone rage.
What do I do with all of my limbs? I don't know where to punch.
It's like there's a scene in like the first Captain America movie where like after he gets like the big man injection. I think there's a technical term that Stan Lee called
the big man injection.
Big man injection. Yes. And like he's running through the like streets and like he trips and falls over himself, and like that was me through like almost 12th grade in high school. It was like, I'm a giant man with giant body parts. How do I navigate this place?
That's so funny. I tell people to sum up like my middle school, I used to foul out of every basketball game because I was uncoordinated enough to like be good at it, but I had enough like I gotta do this that like just nails everywhere. I don't know what I was doing.
It's funny you mentioned that. I remember like second year, halfway through my playing basketball, I realized that you get 5 fouls per game. And I remember that, like, I wouldn't have to play a full.
So you get 4, and then.
Yeah, I was like, oh, if I get 4 fouls, I don't have to play the rest of the game. So I would intentionally get fouls, so they would pull me out of the game.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That's so fun.
I remember I love my basketball coach. He like really taught me a lot about life and just like working hard, even when no one's looking, all those like stereotypical things. Yeah. But I remember him looking at me and going, "Fish, fouling out is not playing the game." And I was just like, that hit me right here.
Yeah, that's the bumper sticker that you get. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the line that you sit like. That's like the the ghostly tweet that you send like 2:00 in the morning that no one gets.
Yeah, that
like,
no one really
is
gets.
Maggie okay?
Yeah, could someone check on her?
Yeah.
And it's me just flashing back to like my terrible middle school like years. Like,
I don't trust anyone that had like a good middle school.
I don't either. I remember tweeting once that if you had a good middle school experience, you were a bully.
Yeah.
You were the bully.
You're definitely a Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I go back, like, it's weird. And again, coming from a small school, like, by the time I graduated, I was, like, friends, quote unquote, with everyone who bullied me in middle school.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think is so
Where are you from
unhealthy.
again?
Michigan.
What's it like when you go back?
It's normal in that everyone is just, like, drinking and, you know, like, trying to hang out and have fun. Although Will did come back with me last time, and he, in the middle of a party, he turned to me and said, "No one's hair is short." All of the women had like long hair still, and like I was just like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Most people were like married, and you know, like,
oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So. Yeah, in that regard, it's like I do still feel like I don't really belong.
Oh,
like I always
yeah.
didn't belong.
Yeah, I stick out so much when I go back home.
Oh, do you?
Oh, it's so bad. Like, because I only go back really for Christmas. So like,
Same, yeah.
like winter in LA is not winter in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's like I'll come back with like my cool like joggers and like my like really expensive Nikes that have wild colors or whatever.
Right.
And like my dumbass shirt and like
Yeah.
I'll wear bandanas and like I just stick out so much when I go into like the local Mexican restaurant El Cabo to get some tacos. Like I just like stick out like such a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And like they're like, "What are you doing these days?" Like, "Oh, I work in comedy."
Yeah.
And they always ask you for like a famous comedian. Like, well, you're not gonna know who Maria Bamford is. Like, I'm not gonna talk to you about it.
Yeah.
But I sort of dread, but also love going home because of that whole experience of being like, hey, the guy that I knew in 12th grade worked at the gas station, and like now I have to have an awkward ass conversation about what I do in LA.
Right. Okay, so now that we have talked long and hard about friendships, let's fight to the death.
Yes.
Over which friend group is better. And we just had an interesting conversation off air. It seems that we have picked two friend groups in the same universe.
Yes.
And not only that, we have picked one of the same person, but then two different friends. So
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it to you first.
All right, I'm
Cody.
picking Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, and you are picking.
I'm picking Goku and Piccolo.
Oh boy, well, I can't believe we nerded out that hard in
we
the same
did.
universe. That's so funny.
We truly did. But I have to ask you, what about Goku and Vegeta speaks to you?
You know what? I'm more of a Vegeta dude. Like he's always been the most
I
interesting.
love Vegeta.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
I remember as a kid watching him on like Toonami when it first happened.
Yeah.
Like he was effectively a bad guy doing bad things,
Yeah.
but he was so fucking cool while
He was
doing it.
so
Like
cool.
he would talk shit like while he was whooping your ass, and when he got his ass whooped, he would talk even more shit, which I love that.
He was like, "Whoa, I can't believe you operate that way. I'm
Yeah.
fascinated."
Like you're just getting hands right now, but you're talking all types of crap. But like did you watch Dragon Ball Super at all?
Yeah, the first half, and then
Yeah.
the second half I'm read up on. I
Okay,
haven't
yeah.
caught up
So
on.
like I started watching that when it came out. I was like, the first 2 seasons were kind of trashed.
It was just the movie
It was-
for the first
yeah.
season. Yeah.
This is like I'm a huge fan, but it's hard to sit through. But like the second half, they start doing like, oh wait, let's just like please the fans.
The tournament,
So they do
yeah.
everything that you want to see as a fan. Where like Vegeta like has moments with his son, like he like him and Goku basically become like equals for like the second half of the series, which is like
That's
finally
cool.
Vegeta's
finally
like equal.
gets his Jesus.
And like they're friends, but it's like the cousin that like beats you up and doesn't really like you. Like,
Yeah.
I like always like that aspect of it. Like always like the idea
It
of
felt very true to family. I will say
Yeah.
for the most part, I was like, yeah, you guys shouldn't like each other.
Yeah,
If you
like-
did, I would feel lied to.
yeah, like if you guys are like getting coffee and like taking your sons out to play frisbee, like that'd be
Yeah.
weird. And also, it's one of those things that I enjoy about. I kind of relate it back to like creativity and the idea of having like the quote unquote rival that like. You want to see this succeed, but you're also like,
Right, but they
if
also
they did this
spur
good,
you
I have to do
on.
as good as them
Yeah.
to get the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that I've always enjoyed is like the driving force of being like,
Yeah.
I got to be as good as them, and then when I get as good as them, they're gonna get better, or vice
Right.
versa, blah 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 blah. Like I've always liked that between Vegeta and Goku. And I also just like remember that first fight that I saw them have, where like they're just two dudes in the desert just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, oh, this is my content. This was made for me.
This is what I need. 10 episodes of just dudes firing lasers at each other.
It really, you know what? I think your middle school hormones found
totally
me as well. I was like,
totally.
That's where I need to be.
We're not gonna talk this shit out. We're gonna
punch first.
We're gonna fly miles away from the city and then take our shirts off and punch each other with karate kicks.
That's actually I enjoyed your breakdown of that. I was very dubious. I was like, I don't know if I would call them friends.
Yeah.
But the way you described it, I'm like, yeah.
I'm very curious to see your breakdown of Piccolo and Goku.
Yeah. So for me, I always liked their friendship because Piccolo is just very much a caretaker.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't mind being on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And in fact, I feel like he prefers it a lot of the time.
It's like, nah, I ain't trying to catch this L right now. No, I'm good.
He's like, I'd rather not. I'm gonna be over here.
Yeah.
But I think he does that because he cares about those people. He cares about Goku. He cares about the whole crew, I would say. And almost kind of like you know how friend groups sometimes have like a mother bear or like the mom who's like calling the cabs afterwards.
Yeah.
To me, like that's Piccolo.
I'm having a vision of Piccolo with like they're outside of like a tiki bar. He's like calling the Uber, making sure Goku and Vegeta get home.
Did you guys call your rides? Did you
call your thing?
Yeah.
Okay. He does that little thing where he gives them new clothes because like they threw up on each other.
Yeah, or their clothes rip off, so he has spares.
Yeah, I got you guys.
He has like the orange slices for after their like punch out.
See, that's the movie I want to see.
Oh,
it's
me
them,
too.
just them taking them to a bar one night in like North Hollywood. God damn, that's such a funny visual.
That's what the movie should have been.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
Frieza
God.
just goes on a bender, and they have to all
and they have to be
drink
like,
with him.
dude, have you seen Frieza lately?
He's got a problem.
Yeah, he's got a problem.
I don't think they picked up his pilot, so he's like going through some stuff.
Yeah, can we like talk to him? We should talk to them. Sorry, them.
Them.
We should talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the debate between who's the better dad?
Ooh.
Between Piccolo and Goku.
I think Goku is a fantastic father. Besides that, he like runs away for like eons on end.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think he's a pretty solid dad. He plays a lot with his kids.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing this game called Dragon Ball Fighters.
Oh, we almost downloaded it.
Oh, it's
but we
so
yet.
good.
Yeah.
They just came out with the DLC like a couple days ago. That's like Goku and Vegeta.
Right.
And Goku has like, it's like the happiest intro. It's like him on like the Nimbus and he jumps off and like, just like the intro thing where it's like him falling towards the ground spinning. It's that. And like, oh, I forgot that like this Goku was so happy.
Right.
It wasn't him like transforming like 1,000 times. It's just like, oh, I'm a guy that likes to work out and practice martial arts.
Right. I was just running around and, lifting stuff on farms.
I was just lifting a mountain over my head.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go take care of my kids. Like, I do enjoy that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Part of me it is very funny watching, like, Vegeta, like, train with his kid. He's, like, 800 times Earth's gravity for some reason. Like, oh, that's your idea of parenting?
Yeah.
It's so like, very funny to me.
Let's make him incredibly strong.
Let's make him the strongest kid on the planet.
Like, okay. Yeah. I feel like I don't know if I do this every year or every other year, but there's a photo of my father and I doing the like Goku Gohan.
Oh, I want to see that so badly. Yeah. That's so funny.
And I'm like, it's us, Dad.
That's so funny.
I might put my dad on my top 8. He's great.
I think you gotta have at least one fun family member on the top 8.
My dad's fun. I'll put him on there.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who, if we had a top 8, who do you think is making Goku's top 8?
Oh my God. I don't know. Goku and friends, I can't tell if he thinks everyone is his friend.
Yeah.
Or if he, like, puts that facade out and then he's really only close with, like, his wife.
Yeah.
And
Gohan.
even, and
kind
Gohan,
of, maybe.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, too much of an authority figure in a way.
You think everyone's in his top 8?
I kind of think.
Yeah, I think
he's kind of like, he'd be a guy that got screwed over a lot because he thinks everyone is.
He would download the program where you could have like a top 16 or whatever.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, but I can't choose.
Yeah. We're all friends. We all fight together. We're all getting stronger together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, guys. Puts his hands on the hip. Does his little thingy. Yeah.
I think he is like a good example of a good leader. Like, for the most part, he's kind.
Yeah, it's
strong.
This is sort of a nerdy breakdown, but like just thinking like structurally, like narrative wise, like the writing is like, it's very hard to have a character that doesn't really grow over like 4 seasons,
right?
Which he doesn't, but it's also like he's still like he's still it's just, like he's still an interesting character, which is very hard. Like I don't think everyone can write a character that's sort of like the same as far as like emotional stakes are pretty much the same.
I think what's fascinating about him is that like no matter what he faces, he stays as like positive and like, so in a way him not changing is almost like the character arc. It's like, wow, no matter what, you're gonna be optimistic. You're gonna like try to bring everyone together and do the right thing. Oh my god, I could cry. I love him so much.
We should just talk about Goku and Vegeta for an hour.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have you back on, and then we'll figure out how to let go of Friends, because I don't know, me and Hannah Michaels couldn't figure it out either. So maybe we'll all get together, try to figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure this shit out. And then secondly, we'll just have another episode where we just talk about.
I would so do that. You have no idea. I spent so much time digesting Dragon Ball Z as a kid. And even now as an adult, it's bad.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. They gave me a lot of people to look up to as a young kid.
Oh yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't be looking up to Vegeta, but like I did. I did. You know, the key is to just talk as much shit as possible and just fight first.
Yeah, you know what? He like perseverance is, I think, what Vegeta has that maybe the other characters not so much.
Yeah, it seems to be this running theme where they're always like, only you have to do this very specific set of things to get to here. And then like Vegeta just does it. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, he just followed the rules and he did it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Copy, I got you.
Yeah, where Goku's doing a bunch of shortcuts and he gets spirit bombs, and it's like, you could have just followed the directions.
Yeah, you could have done it the old-fashioned way, buddy.
Well, I want to thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This was super fun.
Yeah, this was a blast having you on. This is the floor director.
Oh, wow.
To just say where people can follow you.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. That's Yay for Zig. I got a website where I have literally everything that I've made or will be constantly making called thatdudezig.com.
Great.
Go there if you want to hire me to direct some shit.
I recommend it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. As soon as I have more things I can hire people for,
oh, great.
You're
That'd be
definitely
great.
on my list.
Thank you. I've directed 3 things this year, and it's already almost the fall. So please call me. I need to pay some bills.
Wonderful. Well, we'll also have like all the links, so
perfect.
You guys can click on that. So
yeah.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to My Top 8. I'm your host, Maggie Mayfish. If you like what you heard and you want to help me bring you more, head over to patreon.com/Maggie Mayfish, where you can support the show. And check out patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can support my wonderful friends who help make this show possible. Find me on Twitter at Maggie Mayfish, and let me know your thoughts on friendship. Until next time, goodbye, friends.